Hi, hello. Welcome to another episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. How's it going? It's your host, Isaiah. Um, how's it going for me? Let's see. Overall, this was a little bit of an uphill week for me. I'm not gonna lie. January's been kind of bleh a little bit. I got sick, so that was no fun. I went ahead and took some time off, and tried to feel a little better, a little R&R. Overall, that's been all right. I'm saying I'm feeling better today. Boy, let's see. It's cold as shit. I don't like that. Winter sucks balls. I woke up today to start my car, go do some laundry, and battery was just dead. It just wasn't gonna start. I was like, all right, let me let it heat up. Let me let the let it get a little warmer. I mean, of course, it's still like I don't even think it's over 32. Maybe it is, but at the time it still wasn't. It was like the 20s. And I was like, nope, no shot. So got it jumped, got a new battery. We're back on the road again. But yeah, so it's been a little bit of a strug, but we're keeping on. We're keeping on. And I got some news together. I'm trying to think if there's any foods. I've had a lot of soup this week. Been a soupy week. Had some cheddar bay biscuits I made at home, which were good. Shout out to Red Lobster. But yeah, nothing too major. But we do have some major news. It's really a shitty segue, but here we go. Let's see. I got this from AP. Yemeni rebels say Saudi-led airstrike on prison killed 70. So essentially, just a quick rundown from this story. To be honest, this is something I'm definitely coming in out of my depth. Just the whole situation with Yemen, the Houthi rebels that occupy it, the Saudis who are allies who are against them. And I guess this is a lot of like tit for tat that kind of goes on. Essentially, there was a drone strike that I believe that happened recently that the Houthis took credit for, and I believe I want to say 6 Saudis were killed. But essentially that kind of triggered. Okay, no, killing 3 people, wounding 6. I'm sorry. So essentially that kind of was a big salvo, and this isn't something that like started everything or anything. Like I said, this is ongoing. Very, I guess, similar to the Palestine-Israel kind of situation of just kind of occupation, control, people resisting, fighting, and then naturally it gets politicized, polarized. The Saudis are definitely our allies in this situation, kind of like we are allied with Israel. So naturally the media and stuff that we get can be very slanted, in my opinion. I think that's also kind of going on a tangent here. Like the shit that happened with Obama and why people were really upset was something that kind of went over my head because media-wise that really wasn't covered here. A lot of it was just kind of how boring and how like lackluster the administration was. But also I think the thing that was behind the scenes that people kind of told me and educated me on were like, hey, we were doing strikes on Yemen, for what? Like, and you have to like, go figure that out because, Saudi Arabia wanted us to, I guess. But essentially like kind of group gang tactics, we were, doing strikes on them, and that's a whole thing. That's a lot of dead bodies and stuff that we're not talking about in the mainstream media. But that's just kind of a tangent there, but kind of going back to the present. 70 people were killed in an airstrike. It also, I believe they hit another area in Yemen and it like disabled their internet. So there's like 2 airstrikes. So I mean, that's a big deal. I do imagine that this is not the end of it. And I mean, if there are more things that kind of, pop up, then I'll definitely try to cover them. But just kind of, I guess, my first entry into the scene. So I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to talk to you guys about it. Let's see. I got some more news if it loads up on my computer. So I'm going to take a heat. Ooh. Thanks for waiting on me. Next bit we got from ABC News. Microsoft to acquire gaming giant Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion. So if there's a nerd in your life, you've probably already heard about this story. It's kind of like big news, and I feel like gaming community is like starved for news. Like, oh man, this is huge, this is major. But essentially, Microsoft Corporation announced on Tuesday that they're planning on acquiring Activision Blizzard, which is a huge deal. Some big titles that you may know, that I've played a little bit of or a lot of, Call of Duty, Warcraft, World of Warcraft, and then also Candy Crush, and I think like several other like big mobile games that have been produced under Activision Blizzard. As well, it kind of goes weirdly deeper and affects properties like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, which are like big Sony titles, IPs. So, I mean, it's a big deal. It puts them in a situation that they're like right under Tencent and Sony now. So Microsoft definitely, like, that's a big move. And some people it brings up talk too of, if you know, in the financial world, talk about monopolies. It's one of those situations where it's like a lot of people will say, well, this isn't a monopoly. There's so many gaming studios and all these kind of places and stuff. They make games. It's not a mono thing. It's not only one company. It's not just these few. It's tons. But really, though, when it comes to AAA games that get put out, games that make money, games that you see get into your hands, you know, it really is, you know, Sony and Microsoft are the big names. Tencent's kind of the one that we don't know, or at least you don't hear as much, but they're definitely like making a lot of mobile steps and things of that nature. Big in China type thing. But it is crazy how much money gets generated from all this. Like, it's a lot of money that Microsoft put up to acquire this company, but now they can do whatever they want now that they have it. And I mean, essentially, there's a chance that they just kind of let it run on its own and they just milk it. They just keep farming it. There's a chance that they change up how things go, make it more towards their model. Maybe things change in your favorite games. I mean, people are kind of waiting on bated breath to see what happens from here. Also, there's a bit more to it as well, because, I mean, Microsoft has kind of tried to acquire them before, but it really didn't work out. The price was maybe too high, or they weren't really as interested in giving up the company, Activision Blizzard. But with a lot of the controversy that's been going on in the work culture, in the workplace, it's kind of come to light. Just, you know, really the oppression of women and a lot of just sexist shit that's been going on in the company. It's a lot of spotlight that's on Bobby Kotick, who is still going to be on at the company. But I mean, I kind of think, just hearing other people speculate and whatnot, he's probably not going to be involved for long. He's probably going to be involved in terms of the transfer, and they're probably going to just like pay him out on a severance. He's probably just going to get fired. But I mean, who knows? We will see. I definitely will keep you posted on like things that maybe trickle out from this as well. But yeah, I mean, it's a big deal, you know? I mean, like I said, these are games that I grew up on. A lot of my friends still play. It'll be interesting to see if the layout of some of these games change, because Microsoft's now the owner. So, also we got some COVID news. I know it's no fun, but this is kind of at least a bit of a silver lining. A little good news. I got this from The Verge, but COVIDtest.gov is live now and letting you order 4 free rapid tests. Now, I'm not sure if this is 4 free a month. I believe that is the case. But essentially, you can go on covidtest.gov, and it's a really quick process. It took me about 60 seconds to do. You essentially enter in your information, and they will ship you 4 COVID tests so that you can take, you know, that way it makes it easier. You have them on hand. You don't have to go wait for a test to get done or anything like that. So that was really cool, good news. Also, I was surprised that it really did happen quickly. Like, I think there were some maybe initial launch issues, but I mean, they did launch it a little bit early. But essentially, by the time I was on there, I ordered them Wednesday, and they should be here next week. So I was like, hell yeah. And let's see, we also on the other half of this, got this from Reuters. But essentially, the U.S. is going to distribute 400 million free N95 masks at CVS and Walgreens in COVID fight. So essentially, next week they're going to be rolling out. How many did I say? 400 million masks, and you can just go to either CVS or Walgreens, and I believe just request them, and you got some masks. So that's pretty good. I mean, it's definitely a good value, considering the N95s are like I think $1 or $2 a pop. And I mean, I know for me, buying masks in general, like buying 20 or so is about like $25. So I mean, hey, I'll take whatever free mask you can give me. So I was stoked to see that. Then I wanted to bring up the story I got on Brian Landry. Landry? I'm never going to pronounce his name right. But essentially, there was a update there on the USA Today thing. I kind of said, yeah, this is going to be a closed case, closed chapter. But essentially, he wrote in his notebook that he killed his fiancée, Gabby Petito. At least this is from the FBI. So they said that they, have a report that he wrote in his notebook, and pretty much, confessed there. So I mean, that was definitely something that I guess I didn't expect. Though it is common, I think, from, in terms of like suicide situations and stuff like that people do leave notes. In a situation like that, that's the reason why he did it. So it made sense that he did come out with it, and he kind of confirms what, pretty much everyone's suspicions were. I mean, I'm sure on the TikTok conspiracies or whatever, maybe people are going to overcook this. But I do think it was good that the FBI released this and, made it a public record thing. But essentially that's all we got for today in terms of the main news. I know this is a bit obity. I don't know, that's not a term, I just made that up. But essentially, some deaths did happen. I guess some were newsworthy-esque in their own way, but then also just big people, that's not a fat joke coming up, but some big major people died, and, I just wanted to, talk, give them their flowers. But first I had Gaspard Julio. He is a French actor. He died at 37 in a skiing accident this week. Excuse me. I believe it was like a head-on collision with like another skier that caused it. But essentially, he was in critical condition and he didn't make it. He is going to be in the new Moon Knight movie coming out with like Oscar Isaac. So I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. As well, Louis Anderson passed away. He was 68. He died in battle with cancer. I just remember him. He was one of the first stand-ups I remember seeing as a kid, and then I believe he had a show, and I believe also maybe a cartoon kind of spin-off-y thing. There's Life with Louis, but there was some other stuff, Family Feud. So he was just a big face, big name in my life. I remember him. Also, there was Meat Loaf. He passed away at the age of 74. A lot of people, like CNN, is noting him for "Bat Out of Hell." Amazing song, goes real hard. But the "I Would Do Anything for Love" song, that song sticks with me. That really resonates. Also, it's a little crass, but I will definitely say the most iconic Meat Loaf thing for me is his role in Fight Club. He was Bob with the bitch tits, and as a fat man with bitch tits, that really resonated. And I remember seeing him and kind of feeling a little bit of representation, even though it was kind of like, they were making fun of him or whatever. He was in the Fight Club throwing down, and that was real cool. Also, on top of representation, we lost another great in the fashion community this week. Andre Leone Talley died at the age of 73. So that is sad. He was a Vogue icon. First, black man to do a lot of big things in that field. Also, I found out he worked with like Andy Warhol, kind of as he was blowing up, like right before. So I thought that was really cool. So it's it's always sad to see a beloved figure in our society And there's also other people who passed away this week, I believe, too, that I missed, and I'm sorry about that. But definitely just wanted to give flowers to those people. They'll definitely be missed, and it's definitely a vacant space in our hearts. But we move on and we hold that candle for them. But that's about all we got for this week. We do have the Patreon. That's Isaiah News. Patreon.com/Isaiah News. I just put up the tier system. I got that all set up. I don't know if you visited the site yet. But essentially there is the Newsy bundle you can sign up for $5. That's like the shout out thing. It also comes with a Discord link, I believe. It should all be set up for that. And you can communicate, live. I always keep that thing on me. And you can drop, news stuff, info for your shout out, wherever. You can just do that right there through the Discord. But yeah, it's just a $5 thing. It helps out the podcast, helps me out very much so. And, gives you a little bit of access to me. And also, like I said, that cool shout out. Get your name out there. Get your stuff out there, your brand, or some news you want me to, talk about potentially. We also have a Twitter. I believe that's Isaiah_news or Isaiah_news1. I know Isaiah News 1 is the Facebook though for sure, and Isaiah News is the Instagram as well. That's where we put all the pictures, all the cute stuff, as well, other contacts. You can reach us there in those pages and whatnots. But other than that, that's about it. We should be having another episode soon, and hopefully I'll see you there with some more good news. You guys have a good one. Love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.